Yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is Sree from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, sponsored by My Work Belt. MyWorkBelt.com is a all-in-one software to manage your business from anywhere at any point of time. If you're a small business owner, didn't have time to catch a breath or go for a vacation, consider using myworkbelt.com to help you run your business from anywhere. Now, today, back to our topic here, and Craig Andrews. Craig Andrews is a principal ally at alliesforme.com, and they are master in helping you sell high ticket, high trust items. And they are the masters in marketing of those areas. If you have a need for it, look at alliesforme.com. Now, Craig, how are you doing today?
Sree, I'm doing wonderfully. It's good to chat with you again.
Excellent, excellent. We've been doing this for almost 8, 9 months or so, and I am really enjoying our topics, and I am finding great deal of value and positive feedback from our audience.
Oh, that's good.
Our dialogue has been helping a lot of small businesses. I am really thrilled to continue our conversation.
As am I. Thank you for having me on. I
Excellent.
really appreciate that.
Excellent, Craig. So today I wanted to ask you about in-person networking. So just about not too long ago, until 2020, in-person networking was a thing and was a way to go for doing business networking. And then here, COVID kicked in. Everybody went into the work from home, and everybody is doing Zoom networking. But now I feel that a lot of people are missing out on in-person networking and wanted to get out of the houses. At least last year and a half, I can see that. They all wanted to go in-person networking. And most of the people now are fed up and sick of staying home and being on the Zoom calls, right? Now, let us refresh our minds from your experience on in-person networking. What do you suggest the business owners should do?
You
They
know,
host, they go, when they go, they do's and don'ts. What do you suggest?
it's a really good question. And there's some do's and don'ts I think don't matter if you're in person or online.
Zoom. Yeah.
And the, you know, I'll give you an example from one. So I'm in a virtual networking group, um, and they push this thing called virtual coffees. Since it's
Mm-hmm.
hard. But back to your point with in-person networking, one of the things you should do is you should be setting up coffees with people. When I used
Yes.
to do in-person networking, I would try to have a coffee with somebody different after every meeting where we would just sit down and talk. And that was just amazingly rich time. But one of the things I saw happen recently, somewhat recently, I did a virtual coffee, for this networking group that meets virtually. And I get on for 30 minutes and the guy just talks and talks and talks and talks and
30 minutes is gone.
doesn't ask me a single question. And we get to the end of the half hour, and I know how to refer him, but he doesn't know how to refer me.
Yes.
And and I checked my meeting assistant and it said that he did 73% of the talking.
Wow.
So I would put that in the don't. And so then let me flip that around to a do. And I think this is something that you could do really, it's easy to do, it's powerful, and it will leave an impression on somebody. And again, it doesn't matter if you're in person or
Mm-hmm.
virtual. The the key is, and you can turn it into a little game with yourself. Make
Mm.
sure that you're always learning about them before they're learning about you.
Bingo. That's a powerful message. Yeah.
And I have a simple phrase where you can do that. And the simple phrase is if somebody asks you, "Hey, Sree, tell me about what you do," and tell me about what you do and what you are. And the simple phrase is, "You know what? I would love to, but I'd love to do it in the context of what you do. I think it would help
Uh,
me if I could answer in the context. If I knew what you did first, I would give you an answer that's more meaningful. Would you mind if I asked you first what you do? And
that's the
that
easy
works.
way to say it.
Yeah. And it works all the time.
Oh, wonderful. So let me rephrase that. If I were to be talking to you, and when you ask me, Sree, tell me what do you do, then in return, I respond to say, Craig, I would love to share what I do in the context of what you do. Can you tell me a little bit more before I start?
Yeah. Yep.
Ah,
And that
that's a
just,
powerful way of doing.
it works. I've been using that for years. I use that in sales calls. You know, if
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
comes in, because it's important when you're doing a sales call, you want to be the one asking the questions. You know,
absolutely.
and so that's a real nice way of turning that around. And I found that almost always I can make somebody else be the first one to disclose what they do. But somebody got me yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before. I was doing a virtual coffee with someone else, and I did that, and she answered a couple questions, and then she immediately pivoted back to me. But that's because she was practicing the same thing that I was practicing,
And you
and
can see it.
you can see it, but it feels good. You know, so when
Yeah,
you're networking, it's like the Maya Angelou quote: people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do. By the way, everybody networking thinks the most important thing is what they say. It's not. Um,
yeah,
Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you say, they will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
that is correct.
And this guy that talks 73% of the time, he made me feel like he didn't care about my business. I would never get a referral from him.
Absolutely. Right.
And so by doing that, that's just a real simple trick. It works wonderfully. Um, you know, and it's a hard thing to manipulate for bad motives, right? Because the behavior is
Mhm.
basically saying, Sree, I'm going to treat you in higher regard than I treat myself. I want you to go
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Oh, that's another powerful way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but at the same time, see, although it is a very fundamental principle, but we always forget is that we have one mouth and two ears.
Yeah.
So what does it means is whatever we say one time, and we need to count twice to listen the other person.
Yes.
Right? That gives us two opportunities, actually two benefits, more than two benefits, but the two are prominent that at least I've learned. Right? One is you are allowing them to talk, so it is giving you opportunity to learn about the other person. And second, what I've learned is that we all love to talk about ourselves. So when the other person is talking about themselves, and you are listening to them, but they actually like you more than anybody else because you're listening to them,
Hmm.
right? So once they like you and they naturally trust you, right? You wouldn't trust the person that you don't like,
That's right. That's
right?
right.
So you instantly build a credibility and a trusted relationship just by having the other person talk talk about themselves.
Yeah. And again, switching it back to sales, this rule in sales that says whoever talks the least wins.
Wins, yeah,
So
that is correct.
your goal is not to do all the talking. Your goal is to get them talking because the more they talk, the more they're going to reveal.
Yeah. Now, but
And they're
see,
going to feel good.
some people do have a struggle in asking questions, not because they are shy of asking questions, because they don't know what to ask for.
Hmm. That's
You kind of blank your mind when you're talking to somebody else. And when you don't know what you ask for, let's say you and I are standing in front of each other, right? Or right now, right? If I don't know what I ask for, I be quiet. That creates two challenges. One is either it gives you an opportunity to ask me question, so which in turn I am talking more. Two is if you don't ask the question immediately, then it is going to create an awkward void and for 10 seconds until somebody opens the mouth,
Yeah.
right? What do you suggest if I'm in that situation?
In the situation where there is an awkward
That I
void,
don't have, I don't know what to ask for.
you know, um, if it's in the context of networking, the most obvious thing, I would just go in with a list of questions. And there's some kind of the obvious things. Find out about them and find out about their
Mhm.
business. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? If you remember one of the first times we talked, I found out where you were from in India. I don't know if I remember exactly, but I think it was down near Chennai, um, you
Yep,
know, down
that's
in the
correct.
south that's on the East Coast.
That is correct. I
And
mean, I am inland, but that's nearby Chennai. Yeah.
yeah. And so, um, and so that's one thing. I think everybody wants somebody to everybody has some level of pride in where they come from. And
Correct.
and so you can ask questions about them. And so I would just sit down and come up with a list of questions that are about who they are as a person. Then I would ask some questions about their business, and how long they've been in business and what they do. I would find out what their ideal client looks like,
Mm, mm, mm.
and I would find out what their ideal referral partner looks like.
That's a really good question. Yeah. So if I rephrase it this way, so you can easily ask questions if you keep five W's in your pocket:
Yeah.
when, where, why, what, and how as well, right? And why as well. Five W's goes with, right? Why do you do what you're doing? And when did you start? Or where did you come from? Or where did you grow up, right? And what does it mean to you on this business? So these are various W questions you can ask. You brought up another valid point, that asking who is your ideal customer and who is your ideal referral partner. Those two are really powerful questions
Yeah.
that we all can keep it in a cheat sheet or on the tip of our tongue when we are in the networking.
Yep. And here's a question you can ask once you have a list of people you can refer. As
Yeah.
you meet people, here's a question that I ask, and that is if you could snap your fingers and make one change to your business that would change the trajectory of your business, what would that one thing be?
Mm, okay.
And, and all of a sudden, now you have to have a little bit more trust before you ask that question. You can't go up to a complete stranger and
Yeah.
ask that, but you have to have some level of rapport.
Why,
But
why, why do I need to have some level of rapport? Why not I ask that to a stranger?
because it's a little too vulnerable, so they're
Huh?
about to reveal
Okay.
the biggest weakness in their business.
I see. Okay. 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 No, that's a valid point. Yeah.
So I ask it at the end of a podcast. Once we're done recording, I'll ask my guest that question. But
Uh-huh.
I just spent a half hour getting them to talk about themselves and talk about their
Yeah.
business. And so we have a high level of rapport, and that's a good place for me to ask that. But
Sure.
it's very vulnerable. But the nice thing is when you hear the answer to that question, you immediately not know the top pain in their life. And if you know somebody in your referral network that can remove that pain, you
Mm-hmm.
now become a part of that solution.
Yes.
You
Correct.
help somebody remove a pain in their life,
And
and
then you earn the trust
you're in the
very
trust.
quickly.
So now you have two people that like you. You have whoever you referred them to, and the person that you were referring.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, those two people now feel better about you, and that's back to my Angelo. People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
That's a great. Great. Thank you very much for giving such a wonderful tips and these are very powerful conversations. And those who are listening, I hope you can take these cheat sheets that we are providing here in this episode. When you are either in virtual networking or in in-person networking, it's important to remember you have one mouth and two ears. So you're asking one time and you are listening twice, and you are allowing the other person to talk more about them. So you instantly earn their trust by listening about them. And how do you have the other person to listen, talk about themselves? By asking 5W questions. And keep those 5Ws in your pocket or on the tip of your tongue. You can earn their trust. Now, last but not least, as Craig is mentioned here, if you find their pain, and that will help you to refer somebody that can solve their pain, and you instantly earn the trust of both the new person that you're meeting and the person that you're referring to them. Craig, thank you very much for joining us today, and it is always a pleasure talking to you, and the incredible wisdom that you're sharing with me and with the business community is highly appreciated.
Sree, thank you, and always enjoy our conversations.
Excellent. So those who are listening, please subscribe and like our channel and podcast. If you would be kind enough to share with somebody else who can take these tips and enjoy and grow their business, that will be equally helpful for everybody in it. And I wish you all best, and see you in the next episode.